Healthy eating. The majority of health professionals advise that you consume a well-balanced, nutritious diet if you want to maintain or reduce weight. But what precisely is a healthy diet anyway? It should contain the following items: a source of protein, found in fish, meat, poultry, dairy products, eggs, nuts, and beans. Having a lot of fat is a bad thing, found in animal and dairy products, nuts, and oils. Carbohydrates are a kind of energy source, found in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and beans and other legumes. Vitamins are essential for good health, such as vitamins A, B, C, D, E, and K. Minerals are a kind of substance that may be found in nature, such as calcium, potassium, and iron. Water, both in what you drink and in the water found naturally in meals, is essential. Whether on a diet or not, everyone needs a variety of nutrients, which should ideally come from food. A good general guideline is to utilize My Plate, which makes it simple to visualize how much of each food type should be included in your meal by providing a visual representation. Half of your plate should be made up of fruits and vegetables. Divide the remaining half of your plate between healthful carbohydrates and lean protein. Make sure you stick to your calorie budget, since while you're trying to lose weight, your body has to burn more calories than it takes in via food and drink. The exact number of calories you should consume each day is determined by your weight loss goal, your age, your gender, and how active you are. A dietitian can assist you in determining your nutritional needs. Don't restrict your calorie intake too much, otherwise your diet will be difficult to maintain and may fail to provide you with the nutrients your body needs. Several further suggestions: to save money, go for non-fat or 1% milk instead of 2% or full milk. Choose lean meat over fatty meat whenever possible. Choose breads and cereals that are manufactured with whole grains and that have not been cooked with a lot of fat as opposed to refined grains. Not all fatty, cholesterol-containing, and sodium-containing foods must be avoided to be healthy. It is your overall average over a few days, rather than a particular dish or even a single meal, that is vital to consider. Choosing low-calorie items throughout the remainder of the day or the following day might help you balance your consumption if you consume a high-calorie meal or food during a high-calorie time. Check the nutrition labels on packaged goods to determine how much fat, cholesterol, and salt you should consume over a period of many days. However, this is just the beginning of what you would want to know about nutrition for weight reduction. Consider to know all possible things you can do in your journey to healthy eating. Calories: in the same way that an inch or a tablespoon are measurements, calories are also units of measurement. They take note of how much energy is generated by your body as it digests foods. The higher the calorie count of a meal, the more energy it may supply to the human body. When you consume more calories than you need, your body stores the excess calories as fat in order to maintain its weight. Even low-carb and fat-free diets may contain a significant amount of calories, which can be stored as fat in the body. Proteins are essential for the healing and maintenance of your body, particularly your muscles. Protein may be found in a wide variety of foods. Fish, meat, poultry, eggs, cheese, almonds, beans, and other legumes are all excellent sources of protein. Fats: your body needs fat to function properly. However, the majority of Americans consume much too much of it, increasing their risk of developing high cholesterol and heart disease. There are various different kinds of fats. Unsaturated fats: these are present in dairy products such as cheese and whole fat yogurt, as well as butter and palm and coconut oils. You should keep them to a minimum. Dietitians and doctors may determine your upper limit based on your risk factors such as high blood cholesterol, heart disease, diabetes, and other medical disorders. Polyunsaturated fatty acids, PUFAs: fish such as trout, herring, and salmon include omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-6 fatty acids are present in soybean oil, canola oil, walnuts, flaxseed, and flaxseed oil, among other foods, soybean oil, corn oil, safflower oil. Monounsaturated fatty acids: these are derived from plant-based sources. Nuts, vegetable oil, canola oil, olive oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, and avocado are all good sources of omega-3 fatty acids. In meals derived from animals, cholesterol is another form of fat that may be present. Trans fatty acids. Natural trans fat may be found in fatty meats and dairy products, for example. The usage of trans fats in packaged baked products and microwave popcorn has become commonplace in recent years. They are detrimental to one's cardiovascular health, therefore avoid them at all costs. Despite the fact that trans fats have become less frequent in recent years, you may still check the nutrition facts label to determine how much trans fat is included in a particular item. It's important to remember that something labeled as having 0 grams trans fat could actually contain up to half a gram of trans fat. As a result, be sure to go through the ingredients list. If the label specifies partially hydrogenated oils, it means the oil contains trans fats. Carbohydrates. Glucose is a kind of sugar that is produced by carbohydrate digestion and provides energy to the body. Carbohydrates should account for around 35% to 55% of total calories consumed by adults. The majority of Americans consume far too many carbohydrates, particularly processed carbohydrates, which contributes to obesity, prediabetes, and diabetes. Some carbohydrates provide a high concentration of nutrients. Whole grains, fruits, vegetables, and legumes are examples of such foods. Other carbohydrates are sweet and starchy, and they provide little nutrients. Candy, pastries, cookies, chips, soft drinks, and fruit drinks are examples of foods that should be avoided in excess. Vitamins aid in the regulation of chemical processes in the body. In general, vitamins must be obtained from food since the body does not produce them. There are 13 vitamins that are absolutely necessary. It is possible for your body to store vitamins A, D, E, and K, and this might be an issue if you consume an excessive amount of them. Vitamin C and the B vitamins do not accumulate in your body, so you must ensure that you are receiving enough of them via your food on a regular basis. Minerals, like vitamins, must be obtained via dietary sources. Your body needs them, but it is unable to produce them. Some minerals, such as calcium, potassium, and iron, are more important than others in your diet. As an example, you just need trace quantities of the minerals zinc, selenium, and copper to function properly. What do you think about water? Water has no calories or minerals, yet it is essential for staying hydrated. It also accounts for between 55 and 65% of total body weight. Water may be consumed or obtained by the consumption of foods that naturally contain water, such as fruits and vegetables. Healthy eating and portion control. Our dietary habits need improvement. Fast food, high-calorie sweets, sweet drinks, and other sugary beverages have filled us up and left us feeling bloated. In the United States, the majority of adults and 1 in every 3 children are overweight or obese. Changing your eating habits might be a simple process. To begin, educate yourself on some of the top food offenders and how to replace them with more nutritious alternatives. Then experiment with various portion control strategies. The majority of our calories come from high-fat and high-sugar meals. Food items such as burgers, sandwiches, and tacos are at the top of the list, followed by desserts and sweet snacks. We also consume large quantities of sugar-sweetened sodas and diet beverages. Rice, pasta, and other grain-based foods add a significant amount of calories. Even if you include savory snacks such as crackers and chips in your daily calorie intake, fruits and vegetables hardly make a difference in our daily caloric intake. Only 2 unhealthy items, added sugars and saturated fats, account for around 700 of our daily caloric intake, respectively. That's about half of the recommended daily calorie intake for a typical female. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, we should minimize solid and saturated fats and eliminate trans fat. Reduce your intake of quick meals and processed carbohydrates, such as white bread. Reduce your consumption of salt while you're at it. The majority of us consume much too much, increasing our risks of developing high blood pressure, heart disease, and renal disease. Increase the amount of healthful foods you consume. Instead of fatty meats, Go for lean protein sources such as fish and shellfish. Make an effort to consume at least 8 ounces of fish every week. Olive, canola, and other oils may be used in place of solid fats such as butter or margarine, since they are beneficial to your waistline and heart. Instead of baking products and cereals that are entirely made of white or refined grains, try to include at least half of your grains from whole grains. Other nutritious options include non-fat or low-fat dairy products, eggs, legumes, and a variety of fruits and vegetables, among others. Favorite dishes such as pizza, for example, may only need a makeover. Pizza may include a significant amount of calories, refined carbohydrates, and fats. However, with a few modifications, it is possible to make it work. Make a thin, whole grain crust for your pie. Vegetables should take precedence over meat. Use low-fat or fat-free cheese, or even just a sprinkle, to make this dish. Use just a little piece of bread and pile the rest of your dish high with veggies. Fiber, vitamins, and minerals may be found in abundance in the outer shell of a kernel of wheat, rice, barley, or other grain known as bran. Fiber helps you feel full on fewer calories while also keeping your bathroom trips on a consistent schedule. However, in order to get white, refined flour from a kernel of wheat, food manufacturers remove the bran. A significant amount of fiber and vitamins are lost as a result. Saturated and trans fatty acids are often found in fats that are solid at room temperature. Trans fats should be avoided to the greatest extent feasible, and saturated fats should account for no more than 10% of your total calorie intake. Saturated fats may be found in a variety of foods, including butter, coconut oil, beef, dairy products, bacon, and chicken skin. Reduce your portion sizes to appropriate proportions, and your body will follow suit. Check food labels and restaurant menus for calories that aren't labeled. Learn to eyeball your meal in order to determine how much is too much and how much is just perfect. It's possible that you grew up being instructed to clear your dish. A major concern is that dinner dishes in homes, as much as in restaurants, have grown in size. Likewise, the quantity of food we put in front of them has decreased. If you finish everything on your plate right now, you're definitely overeating. To reduce the size of your servings, do the following: use a smaller dish, such as a luncheon or salad plate, to eat from. Learn how to prepare and serve the appropriate serving amount. Stay away from second helpings and don't leave additional food on the table to entice you. Leftovers should be stored in single-serving containers for easy dinners on the go. Restaurants often provide one person enough food to feed 2 or 3 people at a time. However, you are not required to consume the whole meal. Order a half piece or anything from the kids' menu to save money on your meal. Make a half portion of a full-size dinner and put it in a box before you begin eating it. A meal should be shared with a companion. Instead of an entree, go for a nutritious appetizer followed by soup or salad. The number of calories you should consume is determined by your age, gender, and level of physical activity. A lady who is moderately active should consume 1,800 to 2,200 calories per day. A guy of average stature who is physically active should consume 2,200 to 2,800 calories per day. Every day, consume a nutritious variety of foods, 1.5 to 2 ounces 2.5, 3 cups of fruit and 2.5, 3 cups of vegetables 1.5 cups of veggies, 6 to 10 ounces of grain, half of which should be whole grains, 3 cups of dairy products, non-fat or low-fat. Every day, consume 5 to 7 ounces of protein, meat, beans, and shellfish. More than 5 to 8 teaspoons of oil, usually from plants, fish, and nuts is recommended. Solid fats and added sugars provide between 170 to 400 calories. Every time you eat, you do not have to weigh or measure your food. Instead, see a deck of cards, a poker chip, a baseball, a hockey puck, a CD, dice, and a light bulb in your mind's eye at all times. The ability to visualize healthy portion amounts is much enhanced as a result of this. 1 medium potato is equivalent to 1 computer mouse. This is the equivalent of 1 cup of veggies. If you use a computer mouse on a daily basis, it's simple to choose the appropriate size potato at the grocery store. The average restaurant potato, on the other hand, will be double that size and filled with additional toppings and calories. In order to eat well while dining out, Follow these guidelines. Take a portion of the potato to eat now and the remainder to save for future meal. Instead of a regular potato, try a sweet potato. It provides you with vitamin C and vitamin A, which are important for maintaining the health of your eyes and skin. 1 piece of pasta is half cup, which is equal to half of a baseball. That's 1 ounce, or half a cup, of whole grains. For a more nutritious pasta dish, try the following. If you order more than 1 plate of spaghetti while dining out, you may avoid the breadbasket entirely. However, the additional pasta may be counted as another serving of grains for the day. Make use of whole grain pasta. You'll eat less and receive more fiber as a result of this. Instead of Alfredo or other creamy sauces, try marinara, which is based on tomatoes. When making pasta salad, go for a low-fat salad dressing to keep the calories down. 1 piece of pancake or waffle is equal to the size of a compact disc. That is equivalent to a 1-ounce serving of grains. Leave the plate-sized waffles and towers of pancakes dripping with syrup and butter to the professionals. Instead, order a tiny pancake with an egg on the side. That's 1 serving of grains and 1 serving of protein. Order anything made with whole grains, such as a buckwheat or whole wheat pancake. You receive more fiber and vitamins, and you remain fuller for a longer period of time. As a topping, fresh fruit or sugar-free syrup are also excellent choices. Bagels and bran muffins seem to be nutritious options for breakfast. They may, however, be 2 or 3 times too large. A big bagel, or even a low-fat muffin, may add up to 300 calories in one sitting. Spreading it with butter or cream cheese increases the amount of fat and calories you consume. Breakfast may be as high as 500 calories per serving. A tennis ball is equal to 1 little muffin. A hockey puck is equal to half of a medium bagel. That is equivalent to a 1-ounce serving of grains. If you want to conserve calories, avoid eating too many bagels and bran muffins. Instead, go for a high-fiber English muffin filled with fruit and nuts. Consume half of a huge one or purchase smaller portions. Make the bagel with whole wheat. The high-fiber content will help to keep hunger at bay later. A single serving of cheese equals 4 dice. That is equivalent to a 1-cup serving of dairy. Cheese contains a lot of calcium. Regular cheese, on the other hand, is heavy in fat. 1 serving of low-fat cheese is 1/3 of the recommended daily intake of non-fat or low-fat dairy products, excluding milk. Low-fat cheeses are a good option. They have become more delectable. Keep an eye on your servings. Cheese should be nibbled like a mouse. On pizza, ask for less cheese or low-fat cheese if you want it to be healthier. For every amount of meat or fish, you get a deck of cards or the size of your hand. That's 3 ounces of protein, to be exact. Consume lean protein at every meal, such as fish, poultry, eggs, almonds, and beans, to aid in the development of muscle and the loss of fat. However, you may need less protein than you believe. Adults need just 5.5 to 6.5 ounces of protein per day, depending on their weight. To achieve this, have 1 egg for breakfast, a handful of nuts, 12 almonds or 24 pistachios, in the middle of the day, and 3 ounces of lean protein at night. 1 serving of fruits or vegetables is equivalent to 1 baseball or fist. Approximately 2 tennis balls per serving of leafy greens, that is equivalent to a 1-cup portion of fruits and vegetables. Consume as much produce as you like when it comes to fruits and veggies. Foods that are green, red, and orange are high in nutrients. Berries, red bell peppers, tomatoes, pumpkin, and sweet potatoes are examples of such produce. A golf ball is equal to 1 serving of peanut butter. That's 2 tablespoons of protein, or 2 1-ounce meals of lean meat. It's hard to beat a good peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Additionally, munching on peanuts and peanut butter might help to keep hunger at bay. The key is to stretch a little amount of money as far as possible. However, although nuts contain beneficial fat, they are also high in calories, with 2 ounces of nuts having around 190 calories. Jelly contributes much more. A light bulb is equal to 2 plates of cooked rice. That's equal to 2 servings of whole grains. Rice is a low-fat and low-calorie food. Serve it with a rainbow of healthful veggies, such as red peppers, bok choy, onion, and carrots, that have been stir-fried in a little amount of peanut or canola oil to complement the dish. Rice should be steamed rather than fried in order to save calories. Brown rice, which has more fiber than white rice, is a good choice. 1 ounce equals 6 big tortilla chips or 20 potato chips, depending on your preference. That equates to 2 teaspoons of oil and 150 calories per serving. Chips tend to be high in the things we should avoid eating in moderation: bad fat, processed carbohydrates, and salt. For a woman, 1 ounce of fat may account for over half of her whole day's calories. Take a look at the label. Baked, multigrain, and vegetable chips, such as carrot and sweet potato, contain more nutrients and may contain less fat than traditional potato chips. 1 serving is equal to half of a baseball. That's equal to 4 ounces, or half a cup. Desserts may be high in fat and sugar, which are both detrimental to one's health. 1 cup of ice cream, which is double the size of a serving, may have 285 calories and 75% of the solid fat that a woman who is not physically active should consume in a day. If you want a sip of coffee or soda, save the sugar calories for something to eat instead. If you have a need for a huge, fluffy loaf of warm bread, it does not always signify that your body is deficient in nutrients. Caffeine cravings have nothing to do with nutrition and everything to do with the chemistry of pleasure and reward in the brain. Overindulging in your cravings, whether they are for texture, creamy, crunchy, or flavor, sweet, salty, has one thing in common: it may undermine your diet. People who have cravings have higher BMIs than the general population, which is not surprising given that fatty items are often the focus of desires. Ice cream is an attractive delicacy because of its mix of chili, creamy, and sweet flavors, but it is also a calorie-dense delight. 230 calories are in a standard serving of vanilla. Potato chips are enticing because of the mix of salty and crispy flavors that make them so delicious. A 1 ounce snack bag has between 150 and 200 calories, depending on the taste. If you eat your way through a huge 8 ounce bag, you'll be looking at 1,230 calories, and that's before you even consider the dip. Celery or carrot sticks are dipped in hummus. You'll receive a delightful crunch while consuming less calories and consuming more nutrients as a result. Almost half of all American women have a strong need for chocolate on a daily basis. There have been several hypotheses advanced to explain why this is happening, ranging from magnesium shortage to mood swings. But one thing is certain: consuming a candy bar is a simple and easy method to add a few hundred calories to your daily calorie consumption. Take a little piece of high cocoa dark chocolate to go with your meal. It has less fat than a conventional candy bar and may be beneficial to one's cardiovascular health. Sometimes a certain environment might elicit a want, such as the urge for popcorn while watching a movie. Cravings are heavily influenced by memory. If you've had popcorn at the movies in the past, you're likely to have it again. However, popcorn in movie theaters is often popped in coconut oil and topped with a buttery sauce, making it anything from a healthy snack. As a consequence, each tub has 400 to 1,200 calories. You may omit the butter sauce. If the game isn't the same without a corn dog, you may be more susceptible to another kind of hunger that is triggered by the environment. Even the sight or fragrance of the concession stalls might make it difficult to refrain from indulging. But take a look at these numbers. An 8 ounce serving of cheesy nachos has 900 calories, an 8 ounce serving of raw peanuts contains 800 calories, and a corn dog on a stick contains 400 calories. A serving of corn on the cob with butter has around 150 calories. Donuts are like the forbidden fruit when you're on a weight loss regimen. That information alone may be enough to develop a desire for the substance. Consuming favorite foods one week and then restricting them the next week, according to research, may increase cravings by a factor of 2 to 3. If you are genuinely needing something, it is preferable to eat just one mouthful rather than depriving yourself of it totally. The problem with donuts is that they provide relatively little nutritious value for the amount of calories they contain. A whole grain bagel with peanut butter is a good choice. Do you believe that a meal isn't a meal unless it includes a substantial amount of meat? The good news is that you don't have to give up meat in order to maintain a healthy weight, you just need to choose your cuts wisely. A regular flank steak has around 700 calories, more if the fat is not removed. Have an uncooked lean pork chop has 170 calories, but an uncooked petit filet mignon contains 278 calories. According to an Oxfam poll, pizza is the most popular food in the United States. It does have certain health advantages, including the following. Approximately 12 grams of protein and 2.5 grams of fiber are included in one slice of bread. However, Since pizza contains around 280 calories per slice, and much more if you include meat toppings, the calories may soon pile up. Make your own pizza at home using a whole wheat crust and a sprinkle of low-fat mozzarella cheese. Fresh tomato slices, broccoli, or other veggies may be placed on top. In several nations, pasta is ranked among the top 5 most popular dishes. The problem is that the majority of people consume white pasta, which is manufactured from refined flour. In comparison to whole grain pasta, white spaghetti contains just a fifth as much fiber, implying that it will take more to fill you up. Pasta sauces may also be detrimental to one's diet. In a big bowl of fettuccine alfredo, you'll get between 800 and 1,200 calories. Would you want some fries with that? When ordering through the drive-thru, it's difficult to say no to this salty side dish. Nonetheless, an order of fries might have as many calories as a burger, around 500 calories in a typical fast food establishment. If a side salad or fruit cup is provided, take advantage of it. Alternatively, if you have steely will, go ahead and purchase fries, but restrict yourself to 5 or 6 portions. Whatever the occasion, it's easy to find yourself reaching for another handful of nuts every time you enter a bar or get together with friends. Roasted mixed nuts have more than 800 calories in a single cup. Keep your servings under control or stick to nuts that still have their shells on. Peeling them will cause you to lose time. Because of the addictive properties of caffeine, coffee cravings may extend beyond the realm of traditional food desires. You may feel as though you are unable to completely awaken until you take your morning dosage. Coffee, on the other hand, has relatively little calories. If you find yourself reaching for a snack machine in the middle of the day, you may be suffering from a decrease in blood sugar between meals. An whole package of chocolate chip cookies, however, is just a temporary cure, and a very high-calorie one at that. Whenever possible, choose snacks that mix a protein and a whole grain, such as low-fat cheese on whole wheat crackers. Healthy snacks may really help you stay on track with your diet by preventing food cravings and increasing your energy levels. Whenever you have a family gathering or an important presentation at work, do you find yourself grabbing for the cookie jar? Food cravings are often induced by unpleasant feelings such as stress and worry rather than by hunger. This is referred to as emotional eating, and it is likely to have a negative impact on your diet if done on a frequent basis. Instead of nibbling, try stress-relieving activities such as a strenuous walk, yoga, or a hot bath to relieve tension. When you've had a rough day, it's typical to want to comfort yourself by eating. In order to alleviate emotions of anger or melancholy, comfort foods might be consumed. In severe circumstances, emotional food cravings may lead to binging, which is the act of consuming enormous quantities of food without stopping until you're completely satisfied. Look for sources of emotional consolation other than the refrigerator. Make a phone call to a buddy, put on some of your favorite music, or write in a diary. If you find that your desires are mostly triggered by hunger, consider eating nutritious snacks in between meals. Preparing your snacks ahead of time will help you keep hunger and cravings at bay for longer. Portion management is essential. Each snack should include no more than 200 calories per serving. Some healthy options are yogurt with fresh fruit, a hard-boiled egg, a fruit smoothie, or a dipping sauce made from peppers and beans. You are well aware that physical activity may aid in weight loss by burning calories. Brisk walking, on the other hand, seems to be associated with reduced sugar consumption. The findings of a research published in the journal Appetite show that individuals who went for a 15-minute walk were half as likely as those who went for a 15-minute rest to consume chocolate at their desks. In the short term, depriving yourself of your favorite meals may cause you to want them, but in the long run, the reverse may be the case. According to the findings of a research published in the journal Obesity, after following a low-carb diet for 2 years, a group of overweight people found that they had decreased cravings for carbs and starchy foods. A second study found that those who followed a low-fat diet had reduced desires for fatty items. A sip of water at the right moment can save 9 lives. When you're at a party, it might be difficult to stay away from the sweets. Opt for a tiny portion of the desired meal rather than denying yourself until you give in completely. It's possible that just a taste will be enough to fulfill your appetite. Some experts believe that humans developed the ability to perceive color as a result of their need to discover more energy-dense meals in the environments where they lived. Today, the majority of Americans just stroll into a grocery shop and buy whatever they need. However, we continue to forage with our eyes. For example, You may avoid buying apples that have too many black stains or instead choose for spinach that is a deep green and seems to be both fresh and healthy. It's commonly claimed that we consume with our eyes first, and that's true. However, research into the brain and behavior seems to support this claim. In books, cookery programs, and social media posts featuring beautiful food photography, pleasure areas in the brain are activated. It's possible that this may cause you to eat when you're not hungry. Some forms of visuals, on the other hand, may be useful in promoting a more nutritious diet. Scientists are still looking into the matter. The appearance of food not only entices you to consume it, but it may also alter the way it tastes to your palate. It has been suggested by several researchers that seeing food improves the flavor of food compared to eating something blindfolded and not knowing what it is. In one research, the simple act of arranging a salad on a plate in a visually appealing manner altered how respondents assessed the taste of the identical meal. Possibly. According to one research, respondents were more likely to perceive the delicious umami flavor of tomato juice when they were in an environment that was created to feel like an aircraft. Scientists believe that the loudness of a flight, around 85 decibels, may cause your taste receptors to become more sensitive to the flavor in question. However, it had the opposite impact on the perception of sweetness and did not seem to have any influence on the perception of sour or bitter flavors. The majority of experts think that your sense of smell is responsible for a large portion of what you experience as taste. Aromas, on the other hand, might influence your meal choices even when you are not conscious of it. For example, persons at a dinner who were unaware that they were smelling melon were more inclined to request a vegetable dish to begin their meal. Those who were exposed to the scent of pears were more inclined to order a dessert that included fruit. The smell of fish cooking or popcorn popping might pique your interest and increase your hunger. Furthermore, the crunch that potato chips provide might have an impact on how they taste to you. An experiment in which the crunch sound of chips was surreptitiously boosted or reduced with the use of headphones found that the noisier chips were preferred by the participants. Numerous customers complained that the silent chips were stale and had likely passed their expiry date. Change the music playing as you eat your favorite chocolate and you may be able to bring out various flavors from your favorite chocolate as a result. In one investigation, participants who listened to easy listening music were more likely to detect the sweetness and creaminess of chocolate than those who listened to hip-hop or heavy metal. The only thing that had changed was the music, and the chocolate remained the same. Do sour foods taste more sour when they're cooked in a harsh way? A small group of participants were given 2 sour candies to test by the scientists. The only difference between them was that one had a rough texture and the other had a smooth texture. They were otherwise identical. The rough candies were perceived as having a more sour flavor by the public. It is unclear why this is the case, but it is possible that in the United Kingdom, where the scientists conducted the experiment, people identify the rough coating with a popular sour candy available there. Something as basic as the weight of the plate you eat from may have a significant impact on your perception of the meal. Scientists served the identical yogurt to participants in a variety of bowl sizes ranging from light to heavy, and asked them to judge the quality and taste of the yogurt. Yogurt served in heavier bowls was regularly regarded as the greatest quality, whereas yogurt served in lighter bowls was consistently rated as the cheapest attractive. When attempting to reduce weight, consuming nutritious meals and engaging in regular physical activity are both essential. However, there are several simple modifications you may make at night to aid in your weight loss efforts. When individuals are bored at night, they may overindulge in their food. If this is the case for you, attempt to squeeze in some activities before bed. Walking, writing, conversing with a friend, or reading a book may all be effective ways to divert your attention away from overeating. Picking up a new hobby, such as painting, playing music, or knitting, is another excellent strategy to keep yourself from overindulging when you're bored. Get enough sleep, believe it or not, since it might be beneficial while you're attempting to lose weight. Having a routine that you adhere to and obtaining the appropriate amount of sleep may be really beneficial. The benefits of physical exercise in the early evening might be beneficial. Just make sure it's not too strenuous at the same time. Interval training, a kind of high-intensity exercise, may have an adverse effect on the quality of sleep you obtain. It may also make it more difficult to fall asleep when it is time to sleep. Don't go to the gym too late at night, either. Stop at least an hour before you go to bed to avoid jet lag. You may have weight reduction setbacks if you consume supper or a snack too close to night. However, despite the fact that the time of day does not actually matter, many individuals who eat late at night choose for high-calorie items, which leads to weight gain. You may find it more difficult to fall asleep if you eat or snack late in the day. From a couple of hours before night until you wake up the following morning, try to avoid being in the kitchen as much as possible. Instead of spending money on a noon meal at a restaurant, save money by preparing your lunch the night before. When you eat out, you're likely to consume extra fat and salt. However, when you bring your own food, you will have a greater variety of healthy selections. Proteins such as almonds or turkey slices, nutritious grains, low-fat dairy, and a variety of fruits and vegetables are all good choices. This might be due to a lack of nutrition throughout the day if you discover yourself overindulging at nighttime. The most effective strategy to counteract this is to ensure that you consume your meals on a regular basis. In this manner, your body will be aware of when it should expect nourishment. Eating a snack between lunch and supper is also perfectly okay, just don't overindulge. Despite the fact that you could like watching television over dinner, spending too much time in front of the television while eating might lead to overindulging. It has the potential to make you forget. Make it a habit to clean and floss your teeth after supper to urge yourself to avoid midnight snacking. In the event that your teeth have previously been cleaned, you'll most likely think twice before reaching for a snack close to night. Remember to wait at least 60 minutes before cleaning your teeth, particularly if you have consumed anything acidic, such as lemons. Stress has been shown to cause weight gain. At night, make an effort to unwind and unwind. The use of deep breathing techniques and mindfulness meditation are excellent methods of de-stressing. Lowering your stress levels may also have a positive impact on the quality and quantity of sleep you get. Incorporate into your routine, sleeping in a dark environment. It assists you in getting a better sleep. If you're attempting to reduce weight while also getting better sleep, consider these tips. Cover the windows to keep the sunlight out, as well as putting your phone and laptop away before going to bed. Unhealthy eating habits are the most significant contributor to a large waistline. A diet high in starchy carbs and unhealthy fats is a certain way to make your belly grow. Instead, consume lots of vegetables, choose lean proteins, and avoid fatty foods such as red meats and poultry. Healthy fats may be found in foods such as fish, almonds, and avocados, among other things. Even a slight reduction in carbohydrate intake, grains, pasta, sweets, may be beneficial. This subcutaneous belly fat, also known as visceral belly fat, and the visceral belly fat, also known as visceral belly fat, near your important organs must be eliminated. The presence of visceral fat increases the risk of cardiovascular disease and diabetes. It may also result in excessive blood pressure and other complications. At the very least, overindulging is to blame for the excess weight. Keeping your portions under control might help you lose visceral fat. Sports drinks may contain a significant amount of sugar. That adds calories to the equation. If you consume an excessive amount of them, you are putting yourself at risk for weight gain, which may manifest itself around your waistline. Reduce your intake of sugary, high-calorie beverages. That includes energy drinks and non-diet sodas, among other things. Yes, your family history has an impact on your odds of being obese. It also has an influence on where fat is stored. There is, however, still hope. Finding the correct balance between the number of calories you consume, via your food, and the number of calories you burn, through activity, may help you maintain a healthy weight, regardless of your genetics. Here's some encouraging news: it's possible that you're decreasing tummy fat without even realizing it. You should remember that how your clothing fit, as assessed by your waist size, is more significant than what the scale says if you are eating healthy and exercising regularly.